play host and then run the PS5 payload. Valve loader followed by the web serve payload as well. Get those running, and then from there on the browser you can go to 7.0.0.1:80 to access the homebrew loader. Or you can go into the media section and run the homebrew application if you have that installed. And that will also take you to the same spot. And then you just want to head over to the offline account and run it once it's up and running. You can press circle to close out of the browser, and it will take you to the offline account activator. So the offline activator will list the different accounts that are on your PS5, along with the account ID to go along with them. If the account ID is all zeros, that means the account is a local and has not yet been activated. So to activate the account, you just want to press X on it, and then it will allow you to enter an account ID. It should enter a random ID in there for you. So you can just click OK, and it will activate it using a random account ID. Or you can just type in a real PSN account ID from a profile that you actually have on another retail console. And from there, you can get that activated. So the main reason to activate your PS5 accounts right now is so that your save files will work between your jailbroken PS5 and, of course, any other retail consoles that have the same profile on there. That way you can transfer save files from maybe your jailbroken PS5, providing that they're activated with the same account ID. Or you can, of course, create modded save files on your jailbroken PS5 and then transfer those to a retail PS5 or retail PS4 that you have as well. Now, this current version of the offline account activator does not yet enable remote play, and it also does not allow you to transfer save files. At least PS5 save files, I think, to and from a which USB is what you would typically expect from offline activation, like it does on PS4. However, there is going to be a new version coming probably anytime now that will enable remote play access and will also allow you to transfer save files. As T-Rex777, aka Jose Gonzalez, has actually showed a brief video showcasing that. This has actually been solved. This issue has been solved. There was a user who has actually provided the information to John on how to get the activation working properly so that it will enable remote play, as well as those other features. So that should be coming anytime now as well. And we'll get full offline account activation. So you can either activate your account in the meantime, so you can transfer save files, or you can, wait until this newer version comes out. That will also enable the remote play settings so that you can access remote play on your jailbroken PS5 as well. So beyond that, we also got the release of this Python script from John Thornblum, which is to fetch Sony PlayStation 4 or 5 package updates, referenced by a JSON formatted manifest at the given URL. So in English, that basically means that you can download a game update, and it will combine them into one package automatically as it's downloading, so you can then install it on the PS5. So I've done a video before about how to install PS4 game updates and PS5 game updates onto your jailbroken PS5. And it pretty much involves going on, Prospero patches or Orbis and downloading patches, all of the package parts, and then using a separate program to merge them into that you can then install with a USB onto your PS5 to get your retail games updated. So that is what that's for. This script basically kind of automates that whole process for you. So all you need to do go on, say, Prospero patches, find the update that you want. Let's take Elden Ring, for example. So I took a patch for Elden Ring for firmware for 51. And all you do is copy the SC package, the link to the SC package, and then from there you can run the script by typing in Python the name of the script fetch package.py. And then -0 for the output location where you're gonna save that build package file to. So you just enter a location there. So I just used a test folder on my D drive and give it a package file name. So Elden Ring updater Elden Ring patch.pkg. And then from there, you paste in the URL and then just change the end of the link. So instead of _sc.pkg, you just get rid of that. So it's just .js0 and that will take you to the JSON and then file. You just run the script and it will start downloading all of the parts. And it's basically merging it all into one file as it's downloading it. So once it's downloaded, you'll have one package. You just pop it on a USB, install it, and you'll be good to go with your update installed. So that's handy. The only criticism to really give is the download speed seemed awfully slow for me. And it tends to be faster when I'm downloading in a download manager like JDownloader, so I'm not sure if I use this for really large packages. I don't know if it's a limitation with, Python or some other reason why the transfer rate seems to be quite slow. But again, I don't know. There could have been an issue with my network connection while downloading at the time. So we'll see. It could be a good option though, because again, it just basically automates everything for you. Okay, so for the next update, it looks like TheFlow is going to be doing another talk, this time at ROMHack 2024. This is on September 28th, 2024. So he is scheduled here to do a talk about PlayStation 4. Remote kernel exploitation. This is very much likely to be the same talk that he delivered at the Typhoon Con conference that we never got to see because it was never uploaded to YouTube. We never got a recording that we could watch of that talk. The good news with ROMHack is that their previous conference, ROMHack 2023, all of the talks seem to be available in a playlist on YouTube. So it looks like they are uploading their talks to YouTube, which means that once this talk comes out, we should get a full recording of it that we'll be able to watch back. So that is some good news there. Now, obviously, we're not expecting any big revelations with this talk. At the end of the day, we know that this is primarily a talk for the PlayStation, for about the hack that's already been released 2 months ago. So there's not gonna be necessarily any huge revelations, but we are hoping that perhaps he might at least reference the PS5 in terms of how feasible it is to try and implement this on the PS5. Is it something worth pursuing or not? What are the challenges, etc. So if we get lucky, he might mention that. If he doesn't, then it will still be interesting just to learn about how he came up with this exploit for the PS4. So yeah, anyway, so that's gonna be happening towards the end of September. So we probably won't see the recording released till sometime in October of 2020. So next, we've got a few PS4 updates. Echo Stretch, who's continuing to update PS4 Hen VTX, an alternative homebrew enabler payload that you can use, an older homebrew enabler payload that he's updating and maintaining because Goldhen doesn't support all of the firmwares that are currently jailbreakable with the new Pwn exploit. So for those firmwares, of course, that can't run Goldhen right now, you can use this version of Hen instead to get up and running with the jailbreak. So yeah, definitely a handy feature. And what he's done recently is SIS calls for Apollo compatibility, so that the Apollo save tool can work with this version of Hen, whereas previously it would only work with Goldhen. So that is one of the improvements that's been made there. And the developer of Apollo, Damian Perino, has put out a new test build that targets more firmware. So it supports all of the 9.x firmwares, 10.50, and 10.7x. So any of those firmware versions will be supported. And he's also noted that it will work with not just Goldhen, but also Echo stretches a PS4 Hen to 1.5. So you'll be able to use both of those Hen payloads to work with Apollo if you're using this new test build. So you can go ahead and give that a try. If you're wanting to be able to resign your save files and you're not able to access Goldhen, then you can potentially use this new test build. And last but not least, we also have Itemzflow version released by Lightning Mods for the PS4 version. This version, I did cover this in my previous news update. It wasn't quite released at that point. It was just a teaser that was shown. So this version adds experimental fake game support. Wait, basically the same feature that is in the PS5 version of Itemzflow, where you can run your PS5 game dumps from the actual dumped game files in a folder, instead of from uninstallable package files. It does say experimental, so it probably has some of same issues that the PS5 dumps have, where certain games will not launch if they're not in package file form for whatever reason and various errors. But for the games that do work, it can be handy for swapping games between like a USB drive or running it off a network drive, like an NFS share, and running it off the hard drive. You can kind of swap the game between the different drives quite easily when it's in an extracted form like that, by just copying the folder or moving the folder from one drive to another. So that's another handy feature. He's also added firmware info and compatibility details to the retail game updates feature. Added the option to have packages installed in the background through the package installer that's built into Itemzflow. And he's also improved the logging system and Itemzflow as well. So those are the updates there. So those are the main updates right now with the PS4 and PS5 Hope you guys enjoyed this video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And once